What's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in a video today, and we're going to be talking about another NBA trade rumor. As you know, after the Wizards make that trade the other day and trade Rui Hachimura, trade talks for the Wizards with their other players, around them, like Kyle Kuzma and more other guys that are on their roster that could be traded, have started to, kind of pile on. We've been seeing a bunch of rumors about Kyle Kuzma. I think there's even been some stuff about Kristaps Porzingis. Beal won't be traded this trade deadline. I could see him getting traded in the offseason. That's a possibility, but I just don't see. I think for trading for Beal right now, I think you'd have to give up a haul for him, and he's not even playing that great basketball this year. So Beal's not that worth it to me. But for Kyle Kuzma, he's a guy that I really like. He's been shooting the ball great this year. He's a guy that, is having a great season just overall, really. I mean, he's averaging 22.2 points per game this season. He scored 33 at the game. I was at the Rockets game last night, so I literally watched him in person. Had front row seats to watching him, what he was doing. So, I mean, from giving y'all, some standpoint from what I saw from him last night, Kuzma had a great performance against the Rockets last night, which I wasn't too happy about. But, man, he's fun to watch because he's really entertaining. He was shooting the ball good, 33 points, and was shooting the ball great. I mean, I think he hit 5 threes. He's had this has definitely been his best season in his whole career. He's probably had one of his best shooting seasons, too. And he's really had that he just really had, this type of year in his career where we haven't seen that from him yet. And I think that whoever is trading for him, I do know that the Wizards do have a high asking price. And if anybody can pay that high asking price, it's the New York Knicks, of course. I mean, they want picks and they want nice players, nice young players. And I think that's where you start is, the assets you have with picks. Right now, the Knicks would have 4 first-round picks, but I think some of those are protected. I think the Pistons and the Wizards are protected, the picks that they have from there. So right now, they'd only have 2 first-round picks. And in this case, I think you only have to trade 1. You might have to trade both, but I think you only have to trade 1. You got that first-round pick you got from Dallas in the Porzingis trade. And I'm not talking about the Wizards. You got that could sound weird because both of these teams have had Porzingis. But so the Knicks have the first-round pick that they have from Dallas from the Porzingis trade a couple years back. And so they can use that right now. That would be at 16, but that could be from anywhere to like 15 to 20 or even higher in the 20s. It just depends on where Dallas ends up in their season. So that's, little outside the lottery. It's either outside the lottery, but I would doubt it's going to be just outside of the lottery. It's probably going to be in the 16 to 22 area, maybe even higher, like 23 or 24, just depending on how far Dallas makes it in the playoffs. So yeah, in that case, you get a first-round pick. So I think are they only asking for 1 or they're asking for 2 first-round picks? I think I saw somewhere where they would accept 2 for. I saw somewhere they were asking for 2, but they would accept 1 if it was a good deal. But in this scenario, we're gonna throw in the Knicks 2024 first-round pick just to get a deal done, and I think that would be okay. If the Knicks, if they can get this right, they'd have a bright future. So you're okay. So you add in your 2024 first-round pick. All right. Getting into the player side of this. So this would kind of be like a salary matcher. I mean, it's not only just a salary matcher because I think that he would be pretty good in Washington, but you add in Isaiah Hartenstein in the deal. He's been their backup center this year. He's averaged 5 points per game. He's been really good at rebounding as well. I like him on this Wizards roster. They're really struggling with the number 5 position right now. I know you have Porzingis, but he's out for the next 2 to 3 weeks at least, and he might never even touch. He might never even touch the floor for the Wizards again. He's going to be out at least until past the trade deadline. So in that case, do we really see him, coming back? Obviously he'll be with the Wizards if they don't trade him, but there's a chance that the Wizards might get rid of him. But if they do, and then there's a center that Isaiah Hartenstein. I'd rather have Hartenstein than Daniel Gafford. I like Daniel Gafford, but he's more of a backup. Hartenstein's a good center. He's a decent shooter, shooting 8 for 33 this season. That's all right. It's not good though. Good rebounder, decent scorer. I know a lot of other teams, I think the Nuggets and the Clippers are both interested in Hartenstein as well. I think the Warriors might have some interest as well. Contenders have interest in Hartenstein, but this would be a salary matcher and really just, adding in, that contract and, getting a center. Now, here would be the best player that you get as Donovan Mitchell is out versus my Rockets tonight. If you didn't see that, but I also have him in fantasy, so then I'm kind of screwed. But the other player that you would receive would be a player I really like, and I like him for the Wizards, but for the Knicks, I hate that the Knicks have to get rid of this player, and it is Emmanuel Quickley. You have to add in, one of these young guns, one of these guys that are great, one of these great guards. I was thinking Cam Reddish, but the Wizards aren't going to accept just Cam Reddish and Isaiah Hartenstein. Cam Reddish is an expiring contract. I just don't see them taking those two, even though they're getting 2 first-round picks. So in that case, I think Quickley is the guy that would land, would make Washington pull the trigger. The point guard is a position they need badly. I like Monte Morris. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's their guy. And the the Wizards, they need to find their next point guard. And it might not be Quickley, because Quickley, he's more like a Jamal Crawford type of player. He's a great, for me, I don't like the comparison of Jamal Crawford. I like he's more of like a Lou Williams. He's a great player. And he's definitely starter caliber. But I think he has a really huge Lou Williams type career in his future, and I think that could be really key with the Wizards. Obviously, I think Quickley could be the starter for. Quickley could be the starter for the Wizards the rest of the season, and then if let's just say this trade happens, he's their starter for the rest of the season, and he becomes their starter, finish the season. Then you get to the draft, then you draft a point guard, and either the next season after that, Quickley's either playing the starting shooting guard or he's playing the 6-man role, which I think he would thrive with that position. So I really like Quickley, but I think you have to, kind of choose who you're going to give up. Is it Grimes? I really like Grimes. I don't think you should give up him. I don't think they'll accept Reddish and Hartenstein for just straight up for Kuzma, because even though you're getting 2 first-round picks, I don't know, I could be wrong. They might accept it because you're getting 2 first-round picks, but I don't know. I just don't think they would do that. Quickley has a high upside. I really like him as well. And so, yeah, that's really it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the trade ideas. Kyle Kuzma go to the Knicks. I like this for the Knicks as well, because in this scenario, you have Jalen Brunson, you have RJ Barrett, you have Julius Randle. All 3 of those guys are having good seasons. Well, RJ is doing all right, and Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are having excellent seasons. I think you have to add a guy in that situation. Kuzma is a guy who's coming in averaging 20-plus points this season. And not only you got Kuzma averaging 20, I think Brunson's averaging more than 20, I believe. And then Randall's having an excellent season. So those guys, it wouldn't be the best big 3 in the NBA, but it's a solid NBA 3. It's a solid big 3 in this league. I think that those guys together would, do I think they'd be able to come out of a playoff round? I don't know. But I do know is they would be able to stay in and get in the playoffs and definitely compete in a series for sure. I don't know who you'd play. It's way too early to be talking about that. But I think if you add in Kuzma and you get this deal done, and you also have, way other more deals to do. I mean, you got so many assets that you can flip. You also have Evan Fournier to trade. You have him to get rid of. You have a bunch of salary to get rid of with Derrick Rose and Evan Fournier. If once they're gone, you could get some nice, decent stuff from them. So then you add those pieces in, and then plus Kuzma if that trade were to happen. I like where the Knicks are headed, and I think that I'm not going to predict them to win a series until anything happens. Because, that's just the way I think it should go, but as the Knicks are about to play the Celtics. But, I mean, I just think if they make some right deals, if they make this Kuzma deal, and then they find a nice trade partner for Derrick Rose, where they get something right for Derrick Rose, and possibly Evan Fournier as well. I don't know if that's in the same trade or if that's a separate trade. I have no idea. But once you do that, I think you're good. So the Knicks have some figuring out to do in this trade deadline, and we'll see what they do. And that's really it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.